What's up, Buttercup? It is I, it is me, it is she, Barbie P. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to my channel. And of course, before we jump into this video, I have to give my disclaimer because I already know I can already see y'all clickety clackety in the comment section. I am not a doctor, I am not a dietitian, a nutritionist, or Jesus. So I always recommend you seek the professional help you need on your weight loss, fat loss journey. However, I'm just a girly that lost 107 pounds and 2 ounces. So I have tips and tricks that have helped me out, and hopefully they will help you out. Now, with all of that out of the way, let us jump into this video, but also let's jump into the bote. Let's say the bote. Honestly. And Pudge. Say hey to Pudge. Boop. Okay. So, of course, I have my notes, and these are just the 10 things I stopped doing in order to lose the weight. Pretty much 10 things I stopped doing. Okay, I might do some more, but we're just going to say 10 for now. Okay, you ready? The first thing I stopped doing, and this is pretty much when I really started losing the weight, but losing the weight more consistently, is I had to stop emotional eating. Yes, I had to stop running to the cookie butter and I had to run to the Lord. I had to stop running to the cinnamon rolls and I had to like address what was actually going on in my life and yeah, and address my feelings and not eat my feelings. So I literally had to stop emotional eating and you have to get some type of awareness. I'm always going to keep saying you got to learn yourself, Buttercup. You got to learn yourself, learn your triggers, learn what it is. Learn you. You need to learn you, okay? You need to learn you. So yes, you need to learn you and start feeling the feelings and not feeding the feelings. Okay? Just saying. I'm just saying. That's it. But that was something I had to pretty much I had to stop doing because I could eat my feelings up easily. And then even if I was happy, it's like, oh, I'm happy. Yes, look, let's go get something to eat. I'm sad. You know what? I'm not feeling good. Some cheesecake would be really good right now. Um, you know, if I'm upset, you know what? I'm gonna cook some oxtails, some rice and peas, and I'm gonna do all of this type of stuff. Like I ate my feelings, and that was just something too. I grew up with that because my mom and just my family in general, food was the center. So whatever was going on, food was the center. Whether you were happy, whether you were sad, whatever went on, food was. Oh, I mean, this is just really. She is just giving. Am I giving, Pudge? Am I giving? I think I am giving. But anyway, I just had to really chill with the emotional eating and just address my emotions, address what's really going on, and find healthy outlets. And oh, because I am a recovering people pleaser. I had to start saying what I needed to say. I had to start saying what I needed to say, Buttercup. Because as a people pleaser, recovering people pleaser, don't get it twisted, recovering people pleaser, I just had to start saying what I needed to say because what I would do is I would kind of like let people kind of like walk over me or something I wouldn't really agree on, but I would just let it slide. And by me letting it slide, I'm sliding like a slice of cake. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm letting it slide here, but it's coming out in my eating. It's coming out in other ways. So yeah, child, I had to stop that emotional eating, stop that people pleasing. Just stop it. Okay. Oh, this one. I was so guilty of it, y'all. I'm so guilty of it. But the starting every Monday thing, I had to stop that. I had to stop it, Buttercup, because especially in the beginning of my weight loss journey. Like I said, it took me 4 years to get here, but I'm glad to be here because I know now that I'm here, I'm not going to be falling off. I know me, so I know how to rock with me. I know what to do. But anyway, in the beginning, I would do the whole, you know what? It's no, not Tuesday. It'd be like Wednesday or Thursday. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to, I already would eat something. And I'll be like, you know what? I'll just start Monday. So since I'm starting Monday mentally, what goes on is I'm starting Monday. And child, I will go on like a eating spree, like it was the last supper. And it's like I'm not just eating Thursday. I'm eating Thursday. I'm eating Friday. I'm eating Saturday. And then I'm eating Sunday. And it's like, oops, sorry, Push. And it's like, girl, you done undid whatever 5 pounds you partially lost, they're gone. They are gone because you done ate and you have ate. You ate, literally. You ate. So once I got rid of that starting on Monday mindset, if I did fall off, it would just be like, okay, I fell off. Let's bring it in right now. Because then what I would do too is I would fall off. I'm like, since I fell off that day, I would somewhat eat crazy and then have like a last supper that day. So then I could start fresh the next day. So it's still like that same Monday mindset, but it's not good because that's all or nothing. And it doesn't work because I'm going to tell you something, Buttercup. When you struggle with binge eating or just overeating, when you have that, let me tell you something. That big back demon is on your back. You do not. I'm gonna say this for the front row and the back row. Okay, you do not have control over the big back demon if your back is still wide. So do not think you can do moderation. Do not think you can do intuitive eating. You can't do that. You obviously can't because your back is wide. That's just something I had to learn. So when I would do that whole waiting till Monday to restart, I don't activate the big back demon. The big back demon is activated, and I think now I can shut it down so I can start Monday. No, she is live, she is ready, and it's going to take me about 2 to 3 weeks to really lock back in. And by that time, my cycle is probably starting and I'm already craving again. So the thing is, you never really have control of the big back demon for real if you're going to keep feeding it. And keep feeding it is just pretty much those habits that are making your back wide. If you're constantly snacking, if you're overeating all the time, if you're eating past your fullness levels and fullness cues, you don't even know what your fullness cues are because you haven't even given yourself time to digest your last meal. I'm coming back. That's not that type of video. I'm just being nice. But I will have some videos that I might choose a little bit of violence. I love y'all though. It's coming from a place of love. See. But anyway, I had to get rid of that whole starting on Monday. So if I did slip, it would be more of slipping that meal. But then honestly, I've gotten to the point now, it's something I had to grow into. And that's why I said it was a 4-year journey. I had to grow into this. So, Pudge, you just stay still. He all over the place. But yeah, I just had to grow into this and pretty much, I got an eyelash too. But I just had to grow into it because if I'm going to quote unquote overeat in whatever meal, I can't overeat that day, if that makes sense. I need to bring it in. Bring it in. So even if I did have like a cinnamon roll, I know how to bring it in now. I don't go to eat the whole 4-pack of cinnamon rolls. I don't binge eat, if that makes sense anymore. It's like if I'm going to get something, I'm going to get it and I'm going to enjoy it, but I don't have to eat all of it and I don't have to eat an abundance of it. Because honestly, Like back in the day, back in the big back days, I would eat these cinnamon rolls and they would come in a 4 pack. And I would eat, like, for my shift start, I would pretty much eat one. And then during my shift, I would eat another one. Ooh, I'm telling on myself. Then, like, pretty much by the end of my shift, I would eat one more. So I would have 3 cinnamon rolls. 3. And they weren't like no little cute. They were the real ones with that good cream cheese icing. That, ooh, that cinnamon, all of that. Yeah, those are the ones that I would eat. I would eat 3 of them at a shift on my shift at the job. I would eat 3. And honestly, the first cinnamon roll, it tasted great. It was good. It was like, mm, mm, mm. The second one, it didn't taste as good as the first one. And then the third one, I was eating it just because it was there. So, like I said, it took me a long time to get to here. But now, so if I have a cinnamon roll, I'm just going to get a cinnamon roll. And better yet, I'm going to plan it within my calorie deficit, or I can make a dupe, like a at home version, and it'll be fine. And I don't beat myself up when I do get my eat on. And when I get my eat on, that doesn't mean I am eating. It just means, okay, I'm in a calorie surplus for that day. Because I am happy to say I don't do that anymore. I don't eat past, I mean, I still eat, well, I'm not saying past fullness. I don't indulge to that point of misery anymore, because it is like a point of misery because you're eating so much to the point where you're like, like your stomach is super full, you can't get up, you're burping, but then when you're burping, it's about like a little throw up, right? Yeah, I don't do that no more. So yeah, so I just don't do that anymore. I don't have that all or nothing mindset. Well, I still have that all or nothing mindset, but I used it to my advantage. So that's what I did. I used it to my advantage and just became at peace with myself. So, yeah, that was number 2, I think. Do, 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 do. Okay, another thing. I stopped obsessing over the scale. And I know this can be a lot for people. But I had to stop obsessing over the scale because it got to a point, okay, I was 300 pounds and 8 ounces. I got to 260 ish. And I was still losing weight, but I was not dropping weight as fast. But I know what I was doing wrong. But pretty much, I stopped obsessing over the scale. And then I just started noticing the weight is just coming off way faster. The inches are coming off faster when I'm not worrying about the scale that much. And also because I know me and I know my flow, I know how my body operates. I pretty much, out of the month, I have 10 days where I can get my leanest in 10 days. Then the next 10 days, I still might drop some weight, but I definitely notice an increase in water weight. Then the last 7 to 10 days, of course, that's the cycle, and pretty much I am bloated. So I still would weigh myself, but it's just that now I know that pretty much the rest of the month doesn't really matter. I still lock in. I'm still locked in, but I just know that that part is going to fluctuate because of water weight. But trust and believe, once that next 10 days comes in, we need to see some work. So don't be eating crazy just to eat crazy, okay? Can't be doing that. Mm-mm. I stopped eating like every day was a holiday. And pretty much, I'm talking about, you already know, I am talking about the cheat days. Yes, I used to have cheat days back in the day. And I would wonder why I was not losing as much weight as I should. And simply because I was having a cheat day every Sunday and I wasn't tracking it. I'm like, because it's a cheat day, I can have whatever I want. But it was a whole cheat day. So it would be on Sunday We didn't really have breakfast 'cause I can't eat breakfast before church. My stomach get too bubbly, y'all. I can't do it. But like after church, it was on. So then I would get my eat on, and then I'll get my sweet treat at the end of the night, and then I might even have another meal. Girl, you don't even know what I might have. But still, I would be in such a surplus that it would pretty much take the whole week just to reset, or it would take about till Thursday to reset. Then when I would weigh in on like Friday or Saturday, it's like, hey, I didn't drop that much weight. Oh, it must be water weight. It must be water weight. And now we back on a cheat day on Sunday. So I had to stop the cheat days and I had to stop eating like it was a holiday. And I just had to stop. And then once I stopped, I started noticing more weight loss, but like consistent kind of weight loss. Or even if I didn't lose as much weight, I noticed that, hey, my waist is going in. Hey, my thighs are going in. So I'm still seeing something working, if that makes sense. Okay, Buttercup, we're going to get real and get a little sensitive as well. I had to stop comparing my weight loss journey to others. I know it sounds cliche, but I had to stop doing it because I would compare my weight loss journey to other people. Like I would see, people lose 100 pounds in 10 months. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I lose weight that fast? Why? Da, 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 da. Maybe it's my metabolism. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. And it would discourage me. And of course, the big back demon feeds on emotions and all that kind of stuff. So when I would start feeling bad or sad that I'm not doing my best, it's like, well, just get you a piece of cake, baby. It's okay. You doing the best you can, and that's all that matters. No. But anyway, once I stopped comparing my journey to others, not really saying I lost as much weight, but I felt more comfortable in my journey. So I'm not comparing what, other people do, how they lose weight, and even how they eat. Cause I'm gonna tell you something, Buttercup. Let's be real. For the girlies that are, I would just say bigger, there's nothing wrong with following and using the snatched girlies as inspiration. But I would just say this, and again, I'm not a doctor, dietitian, nutritionist, or Jesus, none of that. But I would just say that sometimes we can't follow them. I'm just saying. We can't follow them to the T. Their workouts, especially when you see how much like the what I eat in a day videos with some of the women that are super snatched. Not trying to be away. Nothing wrong with that. But you have to understand for you, it's going to be different. You got layers of fat on you. Okay, you got layers of fat that need to be burnt off before you're actually to be able to see all the definition that they have. But that was something with me. I'm like, I'm eating like how so and so is eating, and I haven't dropped any weight. Well, guess what? So and so has a low body fat percentage. That plays a big factor. So that means most of their body is muscle. And if you know, you might not know, but muscle burns more calories at rest than fat does. So therefore, they could probably eat, 1900, 2200 calories and still be snatched because they're mostly muscle. You on the other hand, Buttercup, boo, boo, you got extra. You got fat on you still. So you're going to have to kind of like go into a deficit that works for you. A deficit that works for you to get the fat off, to melt that fat off. Still do your strength training to build that muscle. So when the fat does come off, it's like, boom, you got muscle. But you can't do what everyone else is doing. You got to figure out what works for you. And that was one thing. Once I really, really understood that, I'm able to do what I need to do now. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes, as well. What I stopped doing. I stopped cutting out the foods that I love, the foods that I liked. I stopped cutting them out because what I would do, I would be like, no bread, no cheese, no dairy, no nothing. I would do all this stuff. I'll do all these things just to be like going on a full binge the next week or 2 weeks later because I done took out everything. And it's like, don't take out everything. Make better versions of it. I'm gonna tell you something. I can say this with all my chest. Wingstop has nothing on me, okay? Nothing, not near a nothing. Near a nothing. Because my lemon pepper steppers are amazing. My potato wedgies that are baked are amazing. My Greek yogurt blue cheese dressing is amazing. The same meal I would have at Wingstop that is almost like 2,000 ish or so calories, the version I make for myself is less than 800. And I still got calories in the bank. Don't play with me. So yeah, once I, stop saying I can't have this, I can't have that, it's just like I made better versions of it. Or I still have my potatoes, but I have my potatoes on days that I do glutes or on like a higher calorie day. So maybe I'm not eating potatoes all the time, but I have a day where it's a higher calorie day, and I have a day that's a refeed day. And that refeed day is before my glutes, like the day before my glutes. So therefore, when I eat potatoes or even rice, it gives me like a good push. So when I do my glutes the next day, I'm hip thrusting and I'm, Bulgarian splitting and all of that. So yeah. I literally stopped sleeping. Ooh, I gotta stop. I literally stopped sleeping on rest and recovery because I was a big, I have to burn, I have to burn, I have to burn, I have to burn, I have to burn. Like I was big on, I have to burn. And like I said, I told y'all before, I'm not a 5 a.m. girly, and that's okay. I've accepted that. That is my life for now. My life may change later, and I might become a 5 a.m. girly. But at the moment, I am not a 5 a.m. girly. I'm not. And me trying to be a 5 a.m. girly, me trying to do what I saw others do, and instead of getting inspiration, but like try to do the whole routine and all of that, that didn't work for me. I was not getting as much sleep because literally when you work in the evenings, you get off maybe at 10, 10:30. By the time you get home, situated, it's like 11 o'clock, 11:30, maybe even 12. Because me, I like to take my shower. I like to scrub my my bote, and I put on my skincare. Like I have a whole kind of like routine that I do. That's about an hour or so. So literally, you're telling me I'm getting in bed like at 11:30, maybe potentially 12 o'clock. And I gotta pop back up at 4:45 to do a 5 a.m. workout. Now I'm super tired and I can't even push through it. I can't even do it. But I'm still getting it done. But you know what I'm saying? So once I found what worked for me and really started getting my sleep and prioritizing my sleep, I'm noticing the weight, I guess, is coming off easier, but then also I'm able to push more. I'm able to be more productive in my day because I'm actually getting enough sleep to help fuel my day. Another thing, I stopped doing random workouts. And I'm also going to add, I stopped doing random workouts and I stopped trying to be extreme because I would be so extreme that I would burn myself out. What I have learned literally is less is more. I rather do a solid 35 to maybe, well, I don't do 35-minute workouts, but my workouts are 45 minutes to like an hour, 15 minutes, and I do a cute walk for about 30 minutes after. So I'm done within like an hour and a half ish. So that's just what works for me. And I can do that consistently 4 times a week. That is all I need, 4 times a week. And if I have a little bit more strength in me, I might do an extra workout on a Saturday or on a Sunday. It might be Pilates. It might be, just going for an extra walk. Or because I have a home gym that I'm so thankful for, get me get a couple dumbbells, do a couple of these. I don't have to do a lot. I can just do this. Boom. Boom, do about 10 of those before bed. So, you know, I'm not stressing, I'm not doing random workouts, and I'm not overdoing the workout because I don't know if y'all know, but if you've been here for a minute, the beginning of this year, child, I was working out 5 times a week. I was getting 14K steps, only eating 1,200 calories, maybe getting 5 hours of sleep. Like I was doing the most and then wondering why I was hungry, wondering why I was irritable, wondering why it was so hard to stay in my calorie deficit and all of that. And then I got a nutritionist to help me out. And she did help me out. I have a story time for her. She needs her own story time. But yeah, stop doing random workouts and I started doing stop doing random workouts and stop doing crazy extreme workouts and just found a workout program that works for me, works for the time frame that I have, and that gives me the results and the goals that I want. Help me get to my goals. And pretty much now I have this 4-day split. It's like glutes and hamstrings, a pull day, then it's glutes and quads, and a push day. And if I want to be fancy, I could do an extra kind of like glute focus, and that workout's like 30 minutes. But yeah, so that's just what I do now. And it's like that works better with my schedule. And it's an hour, it's about 45 minutes to an hour. It depends on how much time I warm up. But for that 45 minutes to an hour, it's only about maybe 5 to maybe 6 movements, 3 to 4 rounds, and I guess like 12 to 15 reps. But that's something I can do. I can focus and get the job done, and I'm getting stronger each week. And I looked at my program, I'm like on week, I guess 6 or so. I was like, what? Look at me going on by. But yeah, I found something that worked for me versus doing a 5-day program. And y'all, I picked the advanced version of it. So it was like 8 workouts, and then it had a core finisher, then it had me running, and pretty much it was almost like a 2.5 hour workout, but I would have to push myself just to get everything done because y'all, it had 5 sets of 12 for hip thrusts, 5 sets of 12 for the Bulgarian splits on each leg, 5 sets of 12. It just had me really just going, and I couldn't keep that up, especially only eating 1,200 calories. Now, I will say I am going to try that program again, probably next year, because I do believe by that time I'll be way more snatched. And of course, I have my skin removal surgery. And then I will already have like a good foundation. So then they'll just be snatching me up more. So I can't wait. I'm going to try that program again, but just next year. But anyway, like I said, I stopped doing random workouts and I stopped doing extreme workouts. I did what worked for me and what gave actual results. My next thing I stopped doing was I pretty much stopped letting my cravings control me because that's part of the big back demon. So I would let my cravings control me. Whatever I was craving, I would go get it instantly. And y'all, being a big back is expensive. You talk about being healthy is expensive. No, being a big back is expensive. Think about it. You're supersizing everything. You got to try a little bit of the whole menu. So every time I had a craving, I would fall for it. But the thing is, I was trying to create a new habits, a new routine, but I already had an old software, which was being a big back, that big back demon, letting it have full control and access over me. So whenever I would try to implement new healthy, better habits, because I had the big back demon for so long, my mind would kind of go on autopilot back to the big back demon. But I had to push through all of that to create, new and healthy habits, pretty much creating more and new healthy habits to replace the old habits. So the more I would do the healthy habits, the more I would do healthy swaps, going for walks, doing this, doing that, I was slowly replacing the old big back behavior. So pretty much I had all these rocks here And then I had to put, you know, new rocks over here. So every time I put a new rock over here, it pulled a rock from over here. So pretty much I kept pouring and putting rocks down for whatever reason we're talking about rocks. But yeah, so I put the rocks here with new behaviors, new habits, being more self aware. And now I'm taking my power back from the big back demon. So therefore, the big back demon can still be there if I give it power. Meaning, if I stop being consistent in my workouts, if I start letting my emotions, run me, if I start letting my cravings take me, I'm taking the rocks from the good pile and putting it back to the bad pile. So now I have less power in the good area and more power in the bad. So you want to keep putting the power in the good areas so you don't have to struggle and fight as hard with the big back demon, if that makes sense. Another thing, Buttercup, it was the last thing. I had to stop waiting for motivation. Because, ladies, you already know when you are on your cycle or when your cycle is coming, it can mess with your emotions. It can mess with you. It just messes with you. So trying to solely wait for motivation to get you through this journey, I had to stop. I had to stop because, like I said, I started March 1st, 2021, and it took 4 years to get here, but I had to learn and unlearn so much stuff. So there will be times in my journey I wasn't motivated and I will fall off, and it'd be like 2-3 weeks, gain about 10 pounds, then be like, oh my gosh, I done ate too much. Oh my gosh, I'm so big. Now I gotta lock back in. But it takes so much work to lock back in, and it's just not worth it. So I had to stop with motivation. Even yesterday, I was doing a workout yesterday, Buttercup, and I did not want to do it. I was literally sitting here laying on the floor, like, okay, I'm about to do this workout. I'm about to do this workout. And I started scrolling on my phone. It was about like an hour and a half later. And then finally I got it done. I had a moment, not gonna lie, because I really was just kind of tired. But I was like, I need to get this workout done, even though I'm tired. Hey, I might not be able to push as hard, but I'm gonna get it done. Will I push till failure today? Probably not. But I'm gonna get it done. Am I going to do a 30-minute walk? Nope. Did I do a core workout? Nope. I surely didn't. But I got the main thing done. So you cannot wait for motivation, because motivation is only going to get you so far. It's only going to get you so far. I don't care how many videos you save, how many videos you watch. It's only going to get you so far. You have to put the work in. You got to get up and do what you need to do. That's it. This year is going to pass you by regardless, Buttercup. Whether you lock in or not, time is going to pass you by. So what are you going to do? So yes. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Until next time, Buttercup, make sure you are minding your business and tending to your own business. Mind and tend to the business that pays you. And if it does not pay you, Buttercup, that definitely means you need to be minding your own business, which is drinking your green juice, going for your pretty and healthy girl walk, and meal prepping your food because it is a sign of self love. I will catch you in the next one. Bye.